What's up guys, RevItUp7 here. Today I'm going to be opening up and unboxing / reviewing the newest installment in once again one of the most legendary Hot Wheels assortments. Last time I did this it was Diora. I also did the sequel to Roger Dodger, Roger Dodger 2.0, and then for Diora, Diora 3, and recently, not wicked recently, but they have created a new addition to the Twin Mill lineup. There's Twin Mill 1, Twin Mill 2, Twin Mill 3, and now this spiritual successor, Twin Mill Gen E. I picked this up yesterday at my local HEB, and well as some other cars that we're going to be making videos on separately because they were pretty cool. But I haven't picked this car up yet, and I figured I'd give you my thoughts on it in the same way that I gave my thoughts on the second generation Roger Dodger and the third generation Diora. It's part of the Hot Wheels Dream Garage series. It's number 4 of 10, and here we are. Okay, so it has a metal flake green paint scheme with this pretty minimalistic but nice black and white stripes down the middle. The front end of the car kind of reminds me of, what does this remind me of? Sort of a mix between like an Acura NSX. Yeah, it reminds me of an Acura NSX, that's what it does. And then the side profile, I don't even know what the side profile reminds me of. I'm thinking of something. And then the back is very Twin Mill. I really like the back end of this car. It's very Twin Mill, as I said. Looks like the previous installments, but one thing it's missing, which Twin Mill is so famous for, is the dual motors. Twin Mill, in the past, they've had 2 V8 motors here, and I'm going to show the previous generations when I'm done talking about this car. This is an electric car, but they couldn't have done like a battery pack here and a battery pack there, or like some sort of you know, like what's it called, heat sink on each side where the electric batteries or electric motors need to cool down or something. This is a very minimalistic design. I'm not sure I'm even a fan of this design as compared to Roger Dodger 2 and Diora 3, but it's got Twin Mill Gen E written on the hood. And there is not much to talk about here because this is a very basic car. And it's got this front lip here too, so it's probably not fantastic on the track. I'd imagine it's a solid track car, but still it's got some imperfections on the side or divots that would make it maybe get caught up in the boosters a little bit, and as well as different size of wheels that are slightly exposed in the back. But overall, I think this is kind of a unnecessary car for them to create, because it's hardly Twin Mill. If you showed me this and named it something else, I'd be like, oh, that's just one of the new kind of forgettable Hot Wheels fantasy designs we've seen over the years, but this is definitely not a Twin Mill. First, in 1968, with the original 16 Hot Wheels cars, you had the original Twin Mill. I just unboxed this one a day ago, or 2 days ago, in a mystery model unboxing. You can see that video in the end screen of this one. And you got the 2 V8 motors in the front, the wedge shape, pointed front end. Very, very, very cool design for 1968. And once again, kind of a minimalist back end of the car. The cockpit is so far back on the original Twin Mill. And then that was followed in the 90s with Twin Mill 2, a more flowy design. Not much of a pointed front end, more of like a rounded front end. This is a lot more of a wavy 90s looking take on the car, and a very minimalistic rear end once again. Cabin's still very far back, and much larger engines this time around. Huge engines. This is the version from Hot Wheels Velocity X, if you're curious. Smaller engines on the original car. This is a new tool of the car, meaning a different casting. The original had metal motors that were part of the base, I think, and this is the plastic one for modern times, so it still can be a 90-cent car, 94-cent car. And then in 2007 maybe, they came out with Twin Mill 3. Now this, in my opinion, is by far the best Twin Mill. It's got the gigantic V8 motors on the side, same cool pointed front end, but much more sharp geometric shape to it. Once again, wicked aggressive and minimalistic rear end. This is part of a Rocket League assortment. One thing I like about Twin Mill Twin Mill 2, is that you can put it on its back, kind of. But Twin Mill 3, you can point it straight up in the air. I always thought that was cool when I was a kid. This car got a lot of attention when I was a kid. It was on the cover of every track, on every video game. Not every video game. It was actually only in Track Attack now that I think about it, but it was in commercials and on all their branding. The Twin Mill 3 was like Hot Wheels' flagship car for a long time. And yeah, I love Twin Mill 3. I think it's the best one by far. Very cool looking car. Such an aggressive front end. And I like the little boxy and polygonal shape to it. And here's just another one. This is the tuned Twin Mill with a cartoony design with a big front end and a small rear end. I figured I'd include it just to kind of show the history of the car. I'd say this came out in between these two. And then here you go, generic Twin Mill Generation E. I understand it's the 21st century and we're into 2020 and electric cars are now right up there with gasoline powered cars, and like they're widely accepted now finally in like the performance car industry, and it's kind of cool to see Hot Wheels adapting with that. You can see that with Dior 3 and Roger Dodger 2.0, but I don't know here. This car is hardly a Twin Mill. Look what it's replacing. It's replacing this. I'm sorry about that. I think my mom just was coughing outside. Anyway, look at it. Look what it's replacing. They're hardly the same car. And I know what this reminds me of now. I don't know the exact name of the car, but I'll show it on screen. It reminds me of another Hot Wheels car that this kind of, I don't know, not a big fan of Twin Mill Generation E. Yeah, I didn't mean to make this video just to bash it, but honestly, I'm not feeling this car. And sad as that is to say, I was a big fan of of Roger Dodger 2.0, and I thought Dior 3 was pretty cool. This being Roger Dodger 2.0, and this being Dior 3. This car makes Dior 3 look like it's pretty sick. At least Dior 3 is unique. It's got the surfboard and the road bike in the back and the crazy futuristic design, but I don't know about this car. But thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Bye.